Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Young Chop on the beat.
Moors be like, how many times we gotta tell y'all? How many times we gotta show y'all? How many times you gotta see this right here for you to know? You gotta see that feds right there to let you know it's real. How many times you gotta see it? I'm gonna keep showing you. I'm gonna keep showing you that. See that? Giants. We talking about the Giants. See that? See that right there? The Giants. Huh? Hold up. Hold up. See, this is what they want to do. They want to steady see these receipts. Drop the black narrative, we Moors. Point blank, period. Throw the black narrative in the garbage. That's how they controlling you. They controlling you because you still say you a black person. Throw the black narrative in the garbage can. It's over with for that. Look, man. Mysteries of ancient America. We just gonna keep showing you. We gonna keep showing it to you. Hold up. Let's just go ahead and kick it off. We just gonna keep showing it to you. Mysteries of ancient America. Let me just show y'all something from here.
To stay ahead of the competition.
See this right here? There's another fez.
Like noodles.
Another one carved in stone. And now what you got? You got another receipt. How many more receipts y'all need to see? You need to see some more receipts? Huh? You need to see some more? The national headdress of the Moorish Asiatic nation. Founders of civilization. You just need to see more. Cool. 360-degree master masons. Son of woman. The fez is the crown of light. Authority and rule. The geometric zodiac. The fez has no brim and is circular as the sun. The fez belongs to the Ali, El, Bay, Day, and Al. You gonna keep seeing it. You gonna keep seeing the Moorish Asiatic nation. You gonna keep seeing the Asiatic national headdress. All throughout history. All throughout history. Let's go to the story of the Barbary Corsairs. Let's go here. What's this? Another receipt? Hold on. So you saying another receipt? They got the same thing on. They got the same thing on. And they got the same thing on. And they got the same thing on. Fezzes and turbans. Look how tall they is. You talking about giants, fam. Giants. Then you go right over here. And what else you see? What do you see over here? We getting straight to it. We getting straight to it, Moors. Straight to it again. Ancient Americas. They got fezzes on. They got turbans on. This is Montezuma's headdress. Look at it right there. There's a fez right there. Hold up. Nah. Let's go. Listen, Moors. This right here is the grand finale. This is part 3 of the series right now. Genesis chapter 6 verse 4. We talking about the giants. So we bringing out giant receipts. All throughout history, from the west coast to the east coast, in the middle to down south in the dirty south. All the way to Central America, South America, and all of the Caribbean islands, including Hawaii. Hold on. Don't think Hawaii ain't in there. Don't think Hawaii not included in this conversation. Because this right here is over there. Check it out. Check it out right here. When you talk about receipts, how you got receipts like this floating all around the world? And we over here talking about skin complexion. We over here talking about black and white people. When you got receipts like this floating all around the world. Check this out. How is these people right here making doorways? You see these giant doors? See these giant doors right here? Who you think was opening these up? Huh? Who you think was holding these swords right here? Who you think was doing that? Who you think opened up these doors, man? They couldn't have been regular sized people. And you see this arch right here? This arch is known as a Moorish arch all around the world. That's a Moorish arch. See how giant that door is? Look how little that person is right there. See that? Look at this right here. Another giant doorway. See that? Then you come over here, now these, keep in mind, all these receipts is all around the world. All these receipts I'm showing y'all is all around the world. These are all around the world receipts. See that? Even the hybrid Caucasian, the pale skin got a Moorish headdress on. Yeah. She even got one on her head. And you out here talking about you a black person. You a color person. You a Negro. What are you talking about, man? See, that's how you got to get out of that brainwash, fam. See this? This is all around the world. We talking about global receipts right now. Look at this. More giants. This is in France. All around the world. See that? All around the world, G. Just like we showed you these right here. Look at this. It's like we showing you these right here, right? We showing you these right here. Check this out. This is medieval, so-called medieval times. Look what he got on his head. Hear that? See, once you start knowing what to look for, you can start connecting the dots and see yourself inside history. As long as you stay in the Negro, black, colored, Indian, Pan-African conversations, you will never go this deep inside history. You're going to be limited. You cap. Yeah? As long as you stay there, that's what they want you to be. Don't you know that the ancient Greeks, they was Moors too? Don't you know that the ancient original everything on this planet was Moors too? Don't you know that the ancient Asians was Moors too? Look at the headdress. That's all you got to do. Look at what they wearing on their head. Again, look what they wearing on their head. Receipts. Look what they wearing on their head. See, it's in every type of history that you can look in. You're going to see that ancient headdress right there. Even with the so-called Indians. Because they weren't known as Indians until 1621. Before 1621, they were known as Moorish Americans. The flip-flop happened, the birthright theft happened when they accepted to be known as Indians. That part. See that? She got a 5-point star on her head. What's that right there? What's that right there? 5-point star. It's right off. It's all through history. You just gotta know what you're looking at. Look. So you go right here. Check these receipts out. These are so-called Seminole medicine men from Moosa Isle, Florida. Notice the coverings and clothing style. Y'all said y'all want a receipts, though, right? He got a Fez on, Fez on, Fez on. Algonquian natives in New York, early 1900s. Look what they got on. Feathers and turbans. You see that? Feathers and turbans. And right before you will be like, nah, the feathers they ain't got nothing to do with Moorish Americans. Yeah, you think that? Hold on. You think that, huh? Let me show you something. These right here is all Moorish right here. All these got something to do with Moors. All this is Moorish. See that? These are called adornments, the clothing. During the Moorish occupation of Al-Andalus, turban were generally wrapped in linen, as prescribed by the Abrahamic religions. All this is Moorish. You go into the feathers. You go into the bandanas. See? All these are highly adorned turbans known as toka, morisca, or Moorish toka, primarily worn on special occasions. See that? All this stuff right here belong to us. This don't belong to no pale skin. This don't belong to no pale skins. See that? See the feathers? The feathers have meanings. You don't just put a feather on your head. All these feathers got real meanings. See? The so-called Indians, they got feathers on their head, and they're not Indians. Again, you got to remove the narrative that we've been told all through these generations. These were not known as Indians. They were known as Moors. That's who we are. Specifically in America, we are over here known as Moorish Americans. See that? Did you know that it's thousands of pyramids over here? Speaking of giants and giant facts, do you know all these pyramids over here in America? All these pyramids that we think, because we've been brainwashed and conditioned to think that they over here in so-called Africa. How come the majority of the pyramids in the world are in the Americas? Let that marinate. Let that receipt right there marinate. We talking about giant receipts right now. This is an image of the Cholula Pyramid, the largest pyramid structure in the world. Notice that they built a church on top of this pyramid to try to hide it. And they covered up the Egyptian city that was once all around this huge pyramid. This is in America. This right here is in America. The pyramids in the Americas are all step pyramids, which were your first pyramids. Ooh, what? So the pyramids in the Americas are step pyramids, and they were the first pyramids. We talking about in the Americas. This is what we talking about. So we talking about giant receipts right now. This is what we talking about. So check it out. Again, keep in mind that this fez right here, all you gotta do is look for it. Old images, old pictures, old artifacts. When you see this, you see who the founders of civilization is. So this is not a hat. This is a national headdress of the Moorish Asiatic nation. Don't get it twisted thinking this is a regular hat. Nah. This people that wear this hat, Moors that wear this headdress, they're in line with their bloodline. They're in line with their ancient foremothers and forefathers. They're in line with the founders of civilization. This is why when you do wear a fez, when you put a fez on your head, you put a turban on your head, this is why people literally will bow to you. Because they know now that you coming into your proper person, your proper self. You're not just out here thinking that you a so-called color person. You're not out here thinking that you a so-called black person. See, your mentality changes. The words coming out your mouth changes. Your vibration changes. Your energy changes. Your frequency changes. This is why you do that. Because you realign yourself up with your ancient foremothers and forefathers. This ain't just for fashion. This is a link up from modern to ancient times. But you got to come right here though. You got to come back to this. See, do you know that these so-called pale skins, they not even the real ops. The real ops is people that look like you and me. See, the sellout, the great sellout was within our own people. You know how people say it be your own people? It really do be our own people. Because they sell out for that bag. They know that you're not a black person. They know that you came from giants. They know that you came from ancient antiquity. They know that you got royal blood in your veins. But it ain't no profit in telling you that truth. They looking at it like, all right, look. They looking at it like, I'm talking about the so-called black Muslims, the Pan-Africans. I'm talking about all these people. The NAACP, all of them. They all in on it. The sororities and the fraternities, they all in on it. They all boule. So the ones who've been telling you that you need to stay over there in the black, Pan-African, the all these different kind of black organizations, they the ones been selling you out. The question is, are you going to keep listening to people who never show y'all no receipts? Like this right here. Look at this. Speaking of giant receipts, right? We're talking about giant receipts. Giant receipts. Look at this. Here go a receipt for you right here. Check this out. From the book, The Moorish Kings of Europe. Because again, keep in mind, when you do the etymology research on the word black, it's not an ancient word. And matter of fact, black is not even an African word. Black is a Proto-European word. It has no ancient roots to this planet. It was put on our people as a caste to make us go from royalty to slave caste. Do the research. Hold on. So look, out of the first page of this book right here, what does it say? This right here. This is what it says. Off the first page, European royalty and Moorish ancestry. The first page. What does it say? It says, one of the main problems is outlined below by the historian Mario de Valdez concerning Queen Charlotte Sophia. She was the consort of George III, King of England. De Valdez states. What's up, Baba?
Hey, Dad.
What's up?
I'm upstairs. Can I get something to eat?
Go ahead.
Okay.
All right. Love you. It says, artists of that period were expected to play down, soften, or even obliterate undesirable features in a subject's face. But Sir Alan Ramsay was the artist responsible for the majority of the paintings of the Queen, and his representations of her were the most decidedly African of all her portraits. So the Moorish look, all right? The Moorish look, because look, put it to you like this. We're not so-called black people. Now, you have swarthy, tawny, you have olive complexion, you have copper complexion. The misconception has been us grabbing a hold to this so-called black identity. That's the misconception. That has been the driving nail inside of our brains for generations. That's a dark magical spell. The dark magical spell is to get us to be confused about nationality and identity. So we think that you have to hold on to a black so-called identity. That's a caste system. Look. The reason why that's dangerous is this right here. We talking about giant receipts. The reason why that's dangerous for us is because it puts us from royalty to a slave caste system. The caste system is called the Christian Black Codes. Do some research on that. The Christian Black Codes. All right. It takes you from your royal status as a Moorish American to a slave caste system. You're a second class system. You have no rights. You have privileges. This is how the police could pull up and they do everything they want to do. Peace, Cool Joe. This is how it's been working. You talking about giant receipts right now, okay? Look, you need to see big pictures. Look, giant receipts. Hold on. So when you talk about the giant receipts, you got to go here. What's bigger than these right here? What's bigger than these? These pyramids over here, what's bigger than these? Right? And these are all scattered around North America, Central South America, and all of the Caribbean islands, including Hawaii. What's bigger than that? So let's go. It say, according to Egyptologists, the step pyramid of Saqqara, the pyramid of Djoser, is the first pyramid that the Egyptians built, dated around 2667 BC, the third dynasty, which is over 4,700 years ago. Egyptologists agreed that the step pyramid of Saqqara, the pyramid of Djoser, was the first pyramid because they agreed that it is the archetype of all pyramids. You have more pyramids in North America than all of Egypt combined. What? This pyramid right here is the biggest pyramid ever discovered in the world. And it's in the Americas though. Let's continue. It say pyramids in North America, Central America, and South America. Now, if we include the pyramids in Central and South America, it's not even a contest anymore. As far as who has the most pyramids between the East or West, because the West, the Americas, clearly has more pyramids. Again, you need to pull out them pictures. You need to see it. Y'all need to see it so you know it's real. Look, you need to see it. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Check it out. Let's go right here. Oh, we're going to get back to them feathers too. So when we go right here, these are some of the flags of Moorish Americans, Peruvians, Brazilians, Nicaraguans, Chileans, Argentinians, Ecuadorians, Trinidadians, Guatemalan, Cubans, Boricuas, Mexicans, Jamaicans, Haitians, Dominicans, Colombians. This could go for Guyanans, Belizeans. You could continue. You can go to right here. You can go to Barbados. That's part of the Moorish American Empire. Look, Moors. I'm moving fast because we got to move quick. We got a whole lot of ground to cover and we ain't got a lot of time. Plus, IG got me capped on this time. So we got to move fast. I appreciate y'all tuning in, though. Check it out. Check this out right here. Then you can see what I mean. Look. You need to see them pictures. All right? Hold on. You need to see these pictures right here. Because once you see these pictures, now it's going to become real. Don't forget, Africa just means it's a modern word for the planet. If you look up what Africa means in etymology, it shows you that Africa is a modern term for the planet. Africa, the word itself is not an ancient word. Share this beam out. All right? We get confused because we've been misinformed. We've been miseducated, all of us. But it's time to break that spell now. All right. So when you say the West, the real West Coast and the real East Coast, you got to zoom out or whatever, wherever you at, wherever you thinking you know in your head. Zoom out. The real west side of the planet is called Asia Major, Northwest of Mexico. That's all of North America, Central and South America, all of the Caribbean islands, including Hawaii. This is the Asia Major, Northwest of Mexico. So this is Northwest Africa. If you on this side of the world, you're standing in Northwest Africa and Southwest Africa, which is Southwest of Mexico. I know it's a blow though. It's a blow because we all been miseducated together. So collectively, it's going to take us to start diving deep in real history, pulling up them receipts. We can't just stay stuck in indoctrination. All right. So if you in North America, you're standing in Northwest Africa. If you're in South America, you're standing in Southwest of Mexico. We talking about giant receipts right now. All right. This is what they ain't going to teach us. So it's each one teach one. We got to teach each other. On God, we not Indians. As you see, Indian is not even an ancient word. Nah, you come over here to Asia Minor. This is Northeast of Mexico or Northeast Africa. Ethiopia means something divided. That's a demarcation line. That's this right here. Ethiopia divides Asia Major and Asia Minor. That's what Ethiopia is. Even the word Ethiopia been a lie. The real name of them people over there called Ethiopians is really Abyssinia. Those are Abyssinians. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hold on. Now we cooking. The speaker go out. As soon as we start cooking. Crazy. Let's go. Let's go. So we talking about this right here, Morris. Look. This right here. You can't stop what's going on. Even the picture right here, well, Montezuma. Yeah, I'm going to say this beam out. Even the picture of Montezuma, you see that he got an ancient Fez-like headdress on. You see that? He got a headdress on. Told you, the more that you go into history, you going to start seeing this headdress more and more. Oh, yeah. Hold on. We was talking about them ancient receipts, right? We got a treat for you. We got a treat for you. Hold on. What does it say? Let's go. We got a treat for you. I want you to check these pictures out now. Hold on. Check these pictures out now. No, we was talking about them receipts. And we was talking about this headdress right here, right? Now, these are so-called Seminole medicine men in Florida, right? See the headdress? Now, this is all Moorish, though. See, the headdress links it up. Then you come over here and you see another headdress. See the headdress? Now, this coming out of the book, Mysteries of the Ancient Americas now. Right? Islam. And this is on a whole other part of the world. See this? This is on a whole other part of the world. The headdress is still on though. Right? Now, let's go right here. Let's do it in real time. Now, you come over here. You come over here to the Olmecs. Now, the Olmecs are older than the so-called Toltecs, right? Then you see this right here. What he got on? You see this right here? Nah, you keep going. Do that look like a pale-skinned European? Do this look like a pale-skinned European right here? No, sir. Pick up this book right here. Hold on. I can't even find it right now. It's around. Pick up this book right here. Where is it at? They came before Columbus. Hold on. Let me show you. Pick up this book right here. Fire. They came before Columbus. Right? Matter of fact, let's bring it over. Show y'all this. From Ivan Van Sertima. Right? Now you see that, right? It says the African presence in ancient America. So it really should say the Moorish presence in ancient America, because we're Moorish Americans. We not Indians. We not people of color. We got a nationality that link back to ancient antiquity, Islam. Then you go right over here. See this? This 1939. You see the same images that's over here. Now, if you from Chicago, you can pull up to the Field Museum. There's a statue outside the Field Museum. If you in Iraq, pull up. It looks just like this. It looks just like this outside the Field Museum in Chicago right now. Just like this. Now, how would that be in Chicago? How did they transport all of these stone heads? Now, keep in mind, these stone heads weigh about 5 to 20 tons each. So just do some common sense thinking, critical thinking. If the slave boat story was true, and these things weigh 5 to 20 tons, how did they get transported from so-called Africa all the way over here to America? These right here I'm talking about. Don't make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. How? And as you see right here, The Fez right there, the national headdress of the Moorish Asiatic nation, founders of civilization. Here it is right here. Again, how is this over here in America? Weighing 5 to 20 tons. How did it get here? We was already here. That's how it got here. We been here. Look. You need more pictures. You need more pictures. Talking about pyramid makers and mound builders. You really need to see more pictures. You need to see the Maya. See the Mayans? See the headdresses that they got on? Huh? Look, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let's go right here. Turn me up, man. Let's go. Let's go.
This is
And you still seeing these right here? Ah, you still seeing those, ain't you? Look, you still seeing this right here. How did these get here? How did these get transported over here? If the slave boat, transatlantic slave boat story was true, how did these get brought over here? And they weigh tons. They don't weigh a couple 100 pounds, G. They weigh tons. See this? And then you talk about, because the football game finna come on, right? They used to play football, but they played football to the death. They played football to the death. See that? This is how they played back in the day with the Mayans. They played to the death. Look, and what they got on. See what they got on their heads? Look at their clothing. See how they dripped up? See their hairstyles? See that? All around watching the game. See? Everybody in the crowd watching the game. Just like people do today. History goes in circles. Right? But if you don't know history, somebody who puts what you would say, some lies spread up in there, you can be deceived. And that's what's been happening. That's why we dropping ether bombs on all these people that's been out here capping. Look at this. Oh, what's that? Dark complexion. See that? The deeper you dig, the more Moorish it's gonna get. See that? You don't see no pale skins up in there. Hold up. Hold up. You don't see no pale skins in there nowhere. Zoom in on that. Look what they got on their heads. Again, more receipts. Gigantic receipts. See? You don't see pale skins in there. That's been the deception. The deception has been to make us believe and think that the Caucasian pale skin were the ones who brought us over here. And they were the ones who civilized us. It never happened like that. I'm feeling that. Bring that back. I'm feeling that. Hold up. Bring that back.
This is culturally inappropriate.
Yeah. But see, this is culturally appropriate. Yeah. This is culturally inappropriate to them, but it's culturally appropriate to us. Moors. See that? Yeah. And look what he got on his crown. See, the deeper you dig, swarthy complexion, copper complexion, dark complexion, we are not black people. You gotta get that in your head before the journey can begin. The journey ain't gonna begin for you if you keep thinking that you this. The journey cannot begin. You know how people talk about self-discovery? Your self-discovery cannot start if your mind is trapped in this. You have to break this first. If you don't break this first, your self-discovery, you just running in circles. You literally are walking in circles if this is your mentality, that you are a black person. You're walking in circles, fam. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. How you gonna connect yourself with this right here and this right here? You out here talking about black. Look at this. I'll show you this. You see this? He got gold on his head. Gold on his head. Gold on. Dripped in gold. These pictures was found in Germany. These are in German churches right now. These people ain't identified with no black. Look, man. You looking at the word black. If you're looking at the word black and you like, man, no, we black. Google right now, what is the origin of the word black? It's going to say Proto-European. It's going to say the word black means pale, colorless, albino. This is what it's going to say. Google it yourself, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's what black means. Why does black mean that? Why is it such a big thing for us to detach ourselves off that word? That word literally trades places with the pale-skinned Caucasians. It makes us go from royal status to slave status. Slave has nothing to do with what you say is a so-called thing that we got to be in. We are royalty. The so-called slaves comes from the bloodline of Slovakian. The Eastern Europeans are the Slovakian people. They the ones who was in bondage. They were the ones who the term slave started being used for and attached to anybody that was put in bondage. So they started calling people slaves. You get it? You can't even be a slave if you want to be. You could be a mental slave, but you could not be a physical slave like they taught us. The slave masters came and took us from Africa and all that's cap. That whole story is cap. Don't give away your birthright. See, that's how they can get you to give away your birthright and abandon your birthright by tricking you mentally to say, yeah, I'm a black person. Bing, they got you. As soon as you said that, you gave your birthright away. But see, ignorance of the law is no excuse. So you can't say, well, I didn't know. Oh, well, too bad. You should have known. You should have known. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. They don't care if you don't know. Hold on. Let's go. How much time we got? We got time? Oh, we got some time. Now, again, keep your mind on this right here. The national headdress of the Moorish Asiatic nation, right? We talking about ancient and modern drip. Here's a chief Seminole. Again, with an Asiatic Moorish nation headdress. He's a Seminole chief. Why would a Seminole chief have on an ancient Moorish Asiatic headdress if he not in tune who the Moors is? You should ask a Hawaiian or Google what does a Hawaiian call themselves? They are what you say, Moe. The Moe people, the Moorish people, because M-O or M-U is all attached to the Moors. Huh? Hold on. Let me show y'all something. Because they was like feathers, right? They was talking about feathers. And they'd be like, nah, the Moors, they ain't wear feathers. Yes, we did. We wore feathers. We wore leaves. We wore turbans. We wore fezzes. We wore bandanas because we always wrapped our crowns up. Nah, come over here. Check this out. Check this out right here. Let me show you something. Hold on. Let me show you something. I got to show you this. You got to see this. Okay? You got to see this. Now, from the book, Cover Your Head. I highly suggest you snatch this book up off khalifamedia.com ASAP. Get this book right here. Definitely need to get this book in your life. Huh? khalifamedia.com. Go there. Order this book up tonight. You need this in your repertoire. Check it out. So when you're talking about the feathers, right? When you talking about the feathers, look at this. There's the prophet Noble Drew Ali right there. But you see what he got on? I just want to show you real quick. Right. You said Polynesia, Hawaii, the Morley, Nismori, Tahiti Morley. See, you got to speak with some Polynesians. Facts. Gratitude for that. See what the prophet got on? He got a sun disk medallion. He got jasper, a stone, stripes. He got strips of gold cloth. See, white linen, and he got a red purple feather on his crown inside of the turban. Why does he have that? For all y'all Bible thumpers that's out there. You know what it says about this right here? I'll show you. It said Revelation chapter 4, verse 3. Hold on. Let's go on here and turn up. It say Revelation chapter 4, verse 3. It says the Holman Bible states, and the one seated looked like jasper and carnelian stone, a rainbow that looked like an emerald surrounded by the throne. What? You think Noble Drew Ali didn't know what time it was? He's wearing a jasper and carnelian stone inside of his turban. It's on top of the turban. Hold up. So all y'all Bible thumpers out there, this is what it says. It says, to reference the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment and equity, to give civility to the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. So let them run their mouth. Let them expose themselves that they fools. It says, the enticement of sin, my son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. See that? What? So the turbans and the fezzes that the giants was wearing? Hold up. The turbans and the fezzes that the so-called giants was in tune with. You trying to tell me that they was wearing the same thing? Hold up. You trying to tell me that the giants around the planet, they was wearing turbans and fezzes? The giants now. Hold up. So if they knew that, then how come we ain't rocking these? How come we ain't rocking that? Because we got to start learning. That's what we doing right now. Beaming this out. This is what we doing. So it say Leviticus chapter 8, verse 9. Y'all be talking about y'all be reading the scriptures, right? So let's read the scriptures together real quick. Out of the Holman Bible, he also put the turban on his head and placed the gold medallion, the holy diadem, on the front of the turban, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He put the medallion on the front of the turban, just like the Lord commanded Moses. Okay. And he put the feather on that too? Hold up. What does the feather symbolize? The feather and the color purple symbolize the ruler. Hold on, man. Hold on. You trying to tell me that Noble Drew Ali, he knew that the color purple symbolized the ruler. That's why he got it on his crown in the feather. The color yellow symbolizes gold, the healing powers of earth. What does the color red mean? Divine love, blood. Once again, you need this in your library. You need this ammunition fully loaded right now. Cover your head. You can snatch this off khalifamedia.com right now. You can go to khalifamedia.com and snatch this up right here. You need this. You need this right here. If you ain't got that, what you doing? Even when you graduate from middle school, from grammar school, middle school, junior high school, and college. And even if you out there talking about you got a bachelor's degree, didn't they give you this for your graduation? Huh? Didn't they give you a headdress, a mortarboard, and a gown? This what they gave you, right? Hold on. Ain't this what they gave you? Hold on. Turn me up now. Turn me up. You need to see this. You really need to see this, Morris. What? National headdress of the Moorish Asiatic nation? The mortarboard? The headdress worn in the West? It's scientific and scholarly? What? Ooh. Then you come right over here? You come right over here, and what does it say? What does it say? It said the statues of the ancient Moors, called Hittites, Canaanites, and the inhabitants of Cyprus. Notice that they are all wearing the fez. Noble Drew Ali said the ancient Canaanites, Moabites, Hamites, Cushites, Hittites, etc. were all ancestors of the inhabitants of North and West Africa, including the Americas, the dominions of Amexem. Bing bong. See, it's right there. But see, once you know what you're looking at, now you can connect these dots. Now you can connect the dots. You see? See that? You can connect the dots when you see that headdress right there. So even if they do overpaint it and make it look like a Caucasian pale skin, now you know the difference though. Because only the ancient ones, only the original people of this planet was wearing these. Because they recognize the nobility. They recognize the royalty that come with this headdress. This is not a cap. This is not a hat. This is an ancient headdress. You see it. You see it. You see it. That's why they trying to duplicate it. They trying to duplicate what we already been did. We been did that. They trying to duplicate it. That's why they wearing it. They trying to duplicate what we did already. That's all. Do you see it now? Do you see it? They're trying to emulate and duplicate what we did already. You see? They clones, man. They copying what we did already. We been was wearing these. Hold on. Hold on. Oh yeah, I wanted to show y'all something. We got some time? We got some time, man. Hold on. Hold on. I need to show you this. Need to show you this. Hold up. Need to show you this from the book. We Are Not Black. From the book. Straight from the book. What does it say? It says, linguistically, we can easily conclude that the term black is a derivation from Middle English block, Old English Blake, Old High German bla, Latin flagar, and Greek phalagian, and it has undergone several transformations, variants, or phases of morphology into its modern form, with black being the offspring of modern English. It indicates to us, quote unquote, black was not being used to refer to people prior to the 1100s to 1400s. Oh, they weren't even using the word black on people prior to the 1100s, fam, or 1400s, or during the pre-Columbian era. It say, simply put, let me get it right. Simply put, the term did not exist thereby cannot have a definitive application to people or a solidified place in the context of any spoken languages or written literature prior to pre-Columbian civilization. OMG. Yo! So how it makes sense, right? We out here identifying with a word that was not even being used until the 1100s. What? Black is not ancient. It's not anything attached to anything ancient. Fam, is you listening? Is you listening? Guess what was though? More. That's been attached to civilization since the beginning of civilization. Now they got many variants too. More, the spelling of more, Mu, Muhammad. It got many variations. Mauryan, Lemurian, many variations. Maury, super variations. But guess what? They all are older than the word black, Negro, color person. See what I'm saying? The word more is the oldest word as far as a bloodline and an identity and a nationality that you could go to. So why wouldn't you want to choose that? That part. Don't get scared now. Nah. Don't get scared now. Don't get scared now. Oh, you thought Negro. So you were saying Negro. Huh? The word Negro means a black man. So just in case you like, nah, I'm not gonna call myself a black person. I'm gonna call myself a Negro. Guess what? The word Negro means a black man. The word Negro means a black woman. And factually, the word black is associated with the pale-skinned Caucasians. Because the word Negro Yavera Arebo, it means the black chimpanzee. Guess what a black chimpanzee is attached to? Yeah. The black chimpanzee is attached to the pale-skinned Albions. That's how they got created. They got created, I'm talking about the Caucasian, pale skins. They were created from, what you would say, experimental scientific manifestations. So they're actually test tube babies. You don't even want to get into that. I ain't even going to get into that on this beam out because we out here talking about the giants. But that's a giant fact. Gigantic facts. The pale-skinned Europeans, they come from experimental scientific replications of the black chimpanzee, because chimpanzees are pale. If you shave off the hair of a chimpanzee, they're black. They're albino. Shave off a chimpanzee. This is what the whole story about the Planet of the Apes was from. Yaqub and the 12 Moabite women scientists. We talking about GMO people. You want to detach yourself from anything that got to do with black, because when you identify as a black person, you are identifying with a black chimpanzee, a Negro Yavera Arebo, or a troglodyte. Are you that? Or do you have a different bloodline, type O? So do you got RH positive? Are you RH positive or RH negative? Giant facts. Yeah. Giant facts. What kind of bloodline is you? Are you RH positive or are you RH negative? Take it to the bloodline. Yeah. Take it to the bloodline. So you can't dodge that blood. See? You got original old blood in you? Or do you got that recessive blood in you? Huh? And again, see these receipts right here? See that? Crowns on their head. Fezzes. Crowns on their head. Fezzes. Peace, more. Crowns on their heads. Fezes. Then you come right over here. And what you see? What you see over here? Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something that's so wild. Let me show y'all something that's so wild, right? Let's go right back up here real quick. I got to show you this. You know how we love music, right? We love music and music connects us because music is a universal thing. Check this out. We love music, right? Look, let me show you something. Since we love music, watch the connection right here. See this? See? Watch the connection. This the BDs out here. This the GDs out here. We talking about Chicago right now, right? We talking about giant receipts. So look at this. This the connection with them. And this is their connection with this. And this. See that? See, the connections is crazy because you talking about the spiritual body, the astral body, the etheric body, the emotional body, the physical body, the mental body. What's in the center? LOVE. Huh? See, you take it here. You take it here. Now you over there with the Black Peace Stone Nation. You take it over there. See that? You take it right over there. Now you start to see it. Okay, you got a connection on it? You got a connection? See? Then you come over here and you say, well, it can't be coincidence. Nah, it ain't coincidence. It's just facts and law. See? So just like the BDs, just like the GDs, you still connected with law. You still connected with this. Ancient times. Actually, you still connected with the giants, with the turbans and the fez is on. You see that? You see that? And then, if you really wanted to go there, you connected over here. You connected over here. Why you think he blue? Let me just ask y'all. Why you think that eye right there? This right here from the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Let me just ask y'all. Why do you think they use these animals right here? You know that Alpamado falcon, you know that bird? That bird is only indigenous to the Americas. That bird right there is only indigenous to the Americas. See? And they just so happen to put it on all the Egyptian pictures. Stop playing, boys. Stop playing. This is what we got to come back into. Look. See that? See? These birds are only indigenous to the Americas. They're not indigenous nowhere else on this planet. The Alpamado falcon. Huh? Hold on. And see how they want us to be out here on gender war, right? Look. How they want us to be out here on gender war. They want us to stay on gender war, right? They don't like when we link up. They don't like when we link up. Why? Why don't they want the Moorish man and Moorish woman to link up? Huh? Why? They don't want us to link up. Why? Huh? They don't like when we link up. Do they? Huh? Why don't they? Because this what happened. This connection right here happened. The yang and the yin happened. See? Yeah. See, when the Moorish man and Moorish woman put their petty differences to the side, the yang and the yin gonna link up. Nah, this is the real energy, frequency and vibration. See that? See, it's in everything. It's in everything. That's why they don't want the man and the women to unite. They don't like that. But see, we love this though. We love the connections of us linking up. See? This is man and woman together. 6-point style. Yeah. So I hope y'all got something from this beam out. Run it up, run it back. I got a slide right now. I'm saying, hope y'all got something off this. Each one teach one. I self-law and master. Much love to all y'all tuning in. Declare your nationality as a Moorish American. Stop playing. Stay dangerous.